every time I start living out of my car again, I just spontaneously start retaining my sexual energy. I don't know if that's because living out of my car is so exhausting. So it's just like my body naturally is like trying to preserve every drop of energy. I think that might be it. Because when you're living out of your car, you're not really working with a full deck. You're like, the best you can almost get to is like 60% of your energy human-wise. I was feeling into that yesterday when I was in a Chipotle or walking in. I was like, my body's tired, but my soul the soul is so enduring. Our soul can stay lit even if the body's tired. Because I was like, my soul's not tired though. Something here is not tired, ever. I think that's what you're shown when you're in a more of a difficult human circumstance or whatever, or when the human's tired. You're kind of shown like something in you just is undefeatable, whatever. Indefatigable. I was like, well, my soul's still lit. I'm still really happy. Yeah, there's this woman, older lady at Starbucks. I swear to God, I was like sitting. She came and sat like, my elbow was on a table. She came and sat at that table, and I was just like fixated in my phone because I was working. I was uploading videos and trying to type this and that at the same time, and I was just in my own universe, And she came, I was just like, okay. And then she kind of started saying things, and she was like, yeah, he, talking to her about her computer. She's like, he, and I was like, oh, what's his name? And I was just being funny, and I don't know, I could tell that she was really enjoying our little chats. And oh my God, that sun, talk about bright. Jesus Christ, why did that have to happen right in the middle of the video? The sun's just like rising right into my eyes as I'm talking. Yeah, so she was all chatty, and I was being just funny. And when I left, she's like, hey, sorry I was talking so much. She's like, usually I don't have this much energy, and I haven't even had my coffee yet. I was like, what? It's all good, It's nice that she was sharing. But I think I was just like, I had so much energy going that, yeah, I was just being really fun too. And it's just enjoyable like that to be, when you're out in public and you're meeting random people, it's just enjoyable to be light and silly, sort of ridiculous, because everyone's so serious. You walk around and see everyone's so in their head, and they're so serious, and they're so focused on and I'm the same way. Like, I'm the same way. I'm a human too. This fucking light is gonna drive me fucking insane. Okay, maybe I can just deal with it. I don't know, guys, I don't know. But I'm the same way. Like, I'll get fixated. So it's nice, and it's nice when someone does it for us, right? When someone just takes us out of it, like maybe we just we're just in line, and some random stranger comes through with something really funny, and it just boom, it just kind of blows us out of our mind, our forehead. It takes us more into the moment. You ever have someone do that for you? Or like you're at the airport and there's just this guy or this woman. Usually for me, it's like an older man will just come through and like with a zinger. And I'm just like, it wakes me up. So it was nice to just do that for this person. I don't know what else I said. I was just being funny. I think my vibe was really, yesterday was a fascinating day. I was like in an ecstatic realm of joy in the morning. I made like 3 videos. I was just, my vibration was really high. And then towards the afternoon, early evening, I could feel my vibration plummet. And guys, I want to make this clear. It's not because we're doing things that it's going high or low. I mean, maybe if you're creating, that can temporarily boost you. But it's not because I did anything that I went into lack. I just went into some severely deep lack programs yesterday, and I just felt like, oh my God, there's so much lack in my body. There's so much just of this emptiness, of this part that's like longing for something, of like, you know, you could say it's fear, rooted in fear and scarcity. And I was just feeling, I was like, oh, I got to talk about this, because it's not like I did anything wrong. And I also felt like, oh, the collective right now is feeling lots of lack. It's feeling disconnected. It's feeling this sense of unsatisfied, unfulfilled, because it's been programmed to go after things that are superficial, that give superficial happiness. The collective's been programmed, like the collective mind's been programmed to chase dopamine, to chase pleasure. And so, of course, it's feeling lack. Of course, it's feeling disconnected from source, from itself. And it's being amplified. It's being amplified during these times. This feeling of disconnection from our true self. And so you're here as a light worker. You're here to bring these, you're here to help humanity return to itself in a sense. And so we're all connected. And you're here to like be with these programs of lack and separation, and that's a tough job. It's a tough job because there's so much of it right now, and that's what I was feeling yesterday. I was just like meditating. Oh, I hear my stomach. Yeah, I've been fasting a little bit here and there. Yeah, when I'm out of my car, I do all kinds of things. Mostly I just meditate and listen to the silence, and where I'm at has a beach, which is fucking so nice. I just laid on the beach. I was just laying on the beach, like feeling the sand, like how it just would go through my hands. It was like I was feeling like so connected with it, like this. I don't want to say it was like this sensuality with earth, like like the sand was like soothing my skin, and I just felt the sun on me. And then there was these rocks, and I was like, oh my God, rock, how did you get to look that way? Wow. So that's what I do, guys. Thank you to Anna for joining the Patreon. If anyone else has joined it between 4 p.m. yesterday and now, thank you. I'll catch you in the next video. That's what I do a lot, is I'll create, and I'm engaging, and but then at a certain point, the phone goes on airplane mode, and it stays there, and I retreat within myself. And I spend, like last night, from about 5 or 6 p.m. till now, of course I slept in between at some point. All I did was listen to silence. All I did was connect with my essence. All I did was connect with my spiritual nature. And that's a big reason I can make all these videos, is I'm always connecting with the field, the field of awareness, like the greater field, I'm listening to the silence, and I'm allowing it to inform me. That's how I have the writings coming through that I have, post every day, every evening. It's like, that's the silence, that's not my brain coming up with stuff. Our minds, our intellects are very limited. But when we start taking the time in our life to connect to that which is unlimited, it helps us, become more of that, become more of our true self. It helps us connect with unlimited insight. Yesterday, I probably could have made 12 videos, it's like an endless stream. It's an infinite stream of insight that you can connect to. It's like a nonstop video could have came through yesterday, but it's like our human energy is limited, Don't tell Tony Robbins that. Hey, I'm a projector, so it's different than I'm not a manifesting generator. So for me, I do have to be really efficient and refined with my human energy. I might want to make 15 videos in a day, but then I'd probably have to take 3 days off because my nervous system would be shot, So I do have to okay, 3, let's stop there. And then some days it's just 1. And so that's my learning edge, guys, where the insight that I can receive, it feels unlimited. It's just like, it's infinite, but I have to learn how to manage all the insight I receive with my limited human energy. And my human energy is, my capacity on a human level is growing as I heal, as I expand, as I grow on the path. But it's still like that's kind of like what we're doing here, right? We're merging the infinite with the finite, the formless with form, and we're just like, how do we make this work here, you know? So yeah. That's what I'm doing, guys. Let's see if anything else wants to be shared in this video. Yeah, I had like a lustful encounter yesterday, which was surprising. Yeah, I'm like right on that edge of like, do I want to share about this or not? Because it's terrifying. Everything's a bit more difficult when you're retaining your sexual energy, because you feel this tension in your body. Because when you're retaining this sexual energy, it's bringing up your repressed terror, it's bringing up your repressed shame, any repressed darkness is just up. And so 11:22. So I'm up here doing this, and I'm made this agreement. I'm doing like one takes. Just fuck it. One take. Who cares if you ramble? Who cares if you think it sucks? Who cares if it, whatever. No, I'm not judging myself. I'm just one taking these and posting them. Because that's another way I manage energy. Because if I'm fucking doing these videos and then restarting them like 8 times, like my perfectionist Virgo brain will do, it just is not as fun. It's not as fun. Even if the product's like the product, even if like the video's 10 or 20% better in the end, it's still like not worth it to me, because it's just so exhausting. But it's hard to talk about super vulnerable things on YouTube, period. But then to do it when you're retaining your sexual energy, so all your stuff's up and you're living out of your car, so you're a bit more exhausted. It's just like, it's the level of difficulty of this shit gets really high. And there's stuff I want to share that happens throughout the day, but I also have to kind of like honor all aspects of myself. Like, okay, is everyone on board with sharing this right now? Because I don't want to like, I want to share. I literally would love if you guys could just know everything, because I want you guys to have the deepest lessons from listening to me. And for you guys to get the deepest lessons, that requires that there's almost no ego here, that I just share the raw truth, no matter how it makes my ego look, right? No matter if it makes me look this way, or it's going to cause this judgment or this judgment. The deepest part of me does not care, because the ego is not real. It's just an imaginary construct we use to kind of navigate this world of form, but it is not real. So there's this part of me that just wants to give you everything, but even though it's quote unquote not real, we still kind of have to honor where we're at with our humanity. Like, not real from the absolute perspective, right? And until we're like totally dissolved in a sense, you know, it's like kind of, I'm just like trying to honor where all my parts are at, and like, okay, do we want to share that today, or is this vulnerable enough? So yeah. And I think it has to do with like retaining sexual energy. It's going to bring up all these parts, like the lustful one, the seeker. You'll be surprised if you retain your sexual energy, what you thought maybe you had healed, but it comes up to the surface like with some force, because the sexual energy will bring up latent stuff for you to see. And if you're already really deep in shadow work, there's no need for you to do this, especially if you have very active kundalini. This is kind of advanced level training, if you will. Like, if you have really active kundalini, you already have the energy for transformation. You're already going to be confronted with so much shadow stuff. There's no need to go down this road. But this is like I don't know how many years I'm in, 6 years in, devoting your life to this process, like every drop of your life to this process. This is like advanced level training that I'm doing. So yeah, and maybe this will be like a segue for tomorrow, but yeah, I had a lustful encounter, in a sense. It's nothing like too exciting, guys. It's not it's nothing too exciting. It's just interesting what I learned. You will have lustful energy. Your repressed lustful energy will flow when you're doing sexual, when you're retaining your sexual energy. You'll get to confront these parts of you. And lust, for me, yeah, it's like we're all in a human body. We all have this impulse for like this evolutionary impulse, right? It's like the second strongest drive in us besides survival. So we all have it. It's just a matter of how much does it control you? How much does it dictate your behavior, right? Or like, do you have the spaciousness and awareness to see that energy come through and just observe it? And because we're all probably having, there's probably some really high level beings that have gotten very free of this sexual instinct, this sexual impulse, where they don't have the sexual cravings as much, or maybe they don't have them at all anymore, right? But until we reach that level, it's going to flow through us all, like these sexual cravings. And of course, when I was younger, they just dominated me, and I was just like completely lost to them. But as my awareness has grown and expanded over my life, I've noticed, especially recently, a much greater capacity to just notice them. Like, wow, look at these sexual cravings coming through. And these sexual cravings can come through when we're having, like, I remember when I was younger, I was having them, and I was having sex constantly, but I was still having cravings, So that might not even matter. You might be in a place where you're having lots of sex and you're still feeling overwhelmed with sexual cravings constantly. I've even noticed when I've been going through a celibate period recently, which has been amazing. And I've actually noticed when I'm not having sex, I actually have less of the cravings. They're like, somehow they come up less until I start retaining my sexual energy for long periods of time. And then it can start bringing up those kind of lustful energies again. So yeah, maybe that'll be the video, the title of the next video, A Lustful Encounter. And it's just not exciting, guys. It's just so silly, and I was just like, what the fuck? I'm just sitting here. All right, now I feel like I have to say it. God damn it. Let's let the ego burn a little. Ah! Sorry, this video is so ridiculous. It's gonna be a long video. I was getting fruit at the grocery store yesterday, and I was really in my own fucking vibe, and I was just loving life. And then this woman comes up next to me, and she's like physically everything that this animal body is attracted to, like on that level. And it was a little distracting and I was a little bit like, I was not in that kind of space where I was looking to connect with a woman in that way at all, right? And then right when you feel like you're kind of free in that space, the divine's like, here, I'm going to give you this little test and see how you do. I'm going to see how you do here. And I was just like distracted. I was like, she was so attractive, she was just so sexually attractive that I was like, God damn it. And I was sitting there and I was like, should I talk to her? And there's just like my higher self, my true self was like, we don't really want that. She has nothing for us. Even if like we were to go have sex right now in this moment, it's like, that's not even what we want. It's an illusion. What I'm wanting more and more is depth. What I'm wanting is, I'm more attracted to consciousness now. Like, what's your consciousness? And then if your consciousness can meet me at my depth and you have this beautiful consciousness, then your form is automatically going to illuminate as beautiful to me, no matter what you look like. That's just kind of where I'm at when it comes to like the attraction with women. It just wants depth. It wants awareness, and the form and the physical beauty is becoming secondary. Of course, it's still there. I'm a human. I'm in a freaking animal body, but it's becoming less the more awake I become. But this woman was just so fucking hot, and it was just kind of like, I was kind of annoyed that there was such a big part of me that still wanted to talk to her, even though I knew there was nothing there. And it was like, I didn't want us to talk to her, but this part was so alive. Like this, and it's because I was like retaining my energy, you know, that it was extra alive. And so I was just on the edge. I was like, should I approach her? And what I do, I'm tantric. So if I have something that feels alive enough, even though I know it's a kind of like poison and not going to do it for me, I'll just do it anyways, just so that part can learn, just so I can experience it out, drink a little poison and be like, see, now I know all the way in my body. So even though like my spirit and soul and higher self knew like, this isn't going to do shit for you, it was still so alive in my animal body. I still had so much energy for it that I was just like, it's just better to do it. It's better to do it than to like kind of try to make yourself not. Because then it's like that, it's just going to come back up again. Life's just going to send you the next most beautiful woman, whatever, that drives you crazy in that way. And then it's just like, so for me, I just like to experience stuff out. That's why I'm as free as I am with this stuff. That's why I'm not as controlled by it like I was even a year ago, 6 months ago. It's because I let myself experience this stuff out. I let myself, God, for a while there, it was really alive for me to approach beautiful women, just to burn this energy through and to get free there. And then when I was feeling into, should I talk to this girl? Just to move this energy, like, I felt fear in my belly about approaching her. I was like, fuck, well, now I have to approach her. Because once I feel fear about something, then I'm like, just like how I have to fucking make this video and tell you guys this, right? Because this is me. I like to just burn it to the ground. I like to burn it all to the ground. So I approached her, and it was I approached her in such a fragmented way because I didn't really want to, because I knew there was nothing there for me. But I just was like, kind of had to, because the energy was just like, you know, it's one of these things. And let me say this to any men out there. If approaching women is the thing for you right now, let me give you this advice. Approach her with all of yourself, with 100% of your presence. Like, really, if you're going to approach a woman, just approach her all the way. Don't do the thing where you kind of are approaching her, but you don't really want to, and then you're fragmented, because they're gonna feel that. It's like the most unattractive thing for a woman to feel from a man when he's approaching like that. It's not that it's unattractive if you're shy or that you're scared. That's not it. It's unattractive if she can feel that you don't actually want to be talking to her and you're talking to her. She's gonna be like, her biology is gonna be like, what are you doing? And you're going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's going to be the underlying energy of the interaction. You're both going to be like, I don't know why we're doing this. And so that basically was how that went. And it was very brief and silly. And I just left that interaction going like, something just died in me. And that's how things die in us, is we have to experience them out. And I was like, that thing that wants the body because it thinks that this woman's body is going to fulfill it, that thing is dying in me. I'm not saying it's dead yet. I'm in this place that is just ridiculous, and I'll probably see a lot of women that this place will be convinced, oh, her body's going to do it for me. And it's like, this place might always be convinced of that, but its energy starts diminishing, it starts losing its kind of like it becomes less and less believable as a thing. And what becomes more believable is, you know, like, you actually just want spirit. You want a deeper connection. You want something so much deeper than the physical, right? And so that's what I'm learning through going through this. And in the past, there was a period in my spiritual awakening where approaching women was like the most alive thing, and I was having like huge openings doing it, and it was the thing where I actually wanted to be doing it with my whole self. And I was using it I was approaching women as like this conduit of spiritual growth. And that's what I did yesterday too. I did grow through it, and I was glad I did it, because I needed to have that experience again to realize, like, I don't even want to be talking to you. What am I doing here? Sometimes we just got to do that. It's just like, why did I do this? But years ago, on the path, maybe a couple years or so, when I would approach women, all of me wanted to do it. I was there was so much there for my field. There was so much information. And I would approach women with all of my presence. And it was amazing. And I would have the most fun doing it. And I would like light the woman up because she could tell I wanted to be there doing that. Even if like she had a boyfriend or something, it was still always really fun. And they were always like, thank you, you made my day. That kind of stuff was happening. And I you know, every now and then I would have like an awesome connection. And it's because that was alive for me. That was my path at that time. And then I got super free in that realm. And once I got free in that realm, it wasn't as alive anymore. And then I would see a beautiful woman and this lustful fart would fire up. Oh, we should approach her because we're not afraid to approach a woman anymore. But then I would feel into it and it would feel like really dead. And then sometimes I would still approach and it would be kind of like it was today. It would just be like, it wasn't as fun. I didn't really want to even be doing it. And like, why am I talking to you? I actually don't, I'm not doing this anymore. At one time it was so alive for me. I'm like, am I going to be like the spiritual pickup artist guy? Because I'm getting so free in this realm and it's so fun. And I want to show other men how to learn and grow through doing this. But then it like quickly, that's my consciousness. That's my soul. It just burns through stuff really fast to where it's like, fuck, this isn't alive anymore. This isn't my truth. Because I'm just a regular old pickup artist, you know, or regular old spiritual guide pickup artist. I learned a lot from those guys though. You know, approaching the opposite sex or approaching someone you're sexually attracted to when you're out in the world, it's like it's another tantric realm of the unknown. Like anything can happen. It brings up lots of fear, lots of survival fear. It's this realm of lots, you can grow lots there. And I think, yeah, for me, I just I did that for a while and it served its purpose. And there's this part of me that every time I see a beautiful woman now, because I'm not afraid now to approach because I went through all that stuff. It's like there's this part that thinks, oh, just because they're beautiful, we should approach. But it's like, no, that's not the truth. The truth is we're not even after anything anymore, you know? We're after our own consciousness now. And you know what? Approaching women helped me until it didn't. It helped me on the ultimate path. It helped me discover my own consciousness. That's what I was doing that for anyways. I wasn't even approaching women so I could get all the beautiful women to sleep with me or something. That wasn't even the thing. I was just doing it so I could retrieve parts of myself. It's like that was a conduit for me for a while. And I know it's for so many other men to like find themselves on a deeper way. That's why I was doing it. That's the only reason this consciousness does anything really, is because it wants to find more of itself. Where do I go to find more of it myself? And for me, I found as much of myself in that realm as I pretty much can. And that's why it doesn't even matter. And they're just dead. Those interactions are dead for me now. And they've been dead for a while. And we'll have a little bit of a heartbreak when something was the thing. And like I said, it was so much the thing. I thought I was going to be like the spiritual pickup artist, helper person. You know, and then it was the thing, but then now it's just not. And now other things are the thing. And you'll have that in your own life where something's the thing for a while. And then all of a sudden, there's not the energy for it. And your spiritual ego was so convinced. Like maybe you thought you were going to be the sound healer. Or maybe yoga was the thing and now it's not. Meditation, whatever. Yeah, so there was that morning because it was so exciting and so fun for so long, or not so long. It only took me like a few months of doing it and I just burned right through it. And now the thing is just consciousness. That's what happens, is the thing just becomes consciousness. And it's always been that, but it just gets more and more and more refined. To where it's just like you can't really seeking anything outside of yourself to find yourself anymore. It's just not, it doesn't have the same thing. It doesn't have the same juice for you. And so that's where I'm at. I realized after I did it, I would have rather just stayed in my own consciousness and went to the beach and just been in silence. And if I'm meant to have connection, like the universe will make sure it happens, you know? That's the connections I'm feeling in my life flowing in now. It's like divine connections based in consciousness, not, oh, her flesh is stimulating or something, you know? And I kind of had I don't want to say a final death because I want to be humble. Who knows? I might have another of these connections, these type of examples to report to you in a week. I don't know, but it felt like this part is just really dying. The part that a lot of men have, that part, you know, where we're so visual, where the only thing that matters to them is how the girl looks and whatever. And it's just like, yeah, it's burning away. A half-hour video. Wow. And I don't even care. This might be a 45-minute video. This is a big thing for me, you know? This is a big chunk. It's very vulnerable to share, especially when I'm all amped up energetically. Yeah. Stuff works for us until it doesn't. Until we kind of outgrow it. And so when something's alive for you, go all in, like, do it. And that's me. I'm like kind of obsessive like that. I go all the way. I like really go through things. I'm going to do it. I'll abandon my humanity in a sense. I'll abandon self. Julian said that to me once. One of my healers, Julian Misliak. Yeah. How he's just abandoned his self for God over and over and over again in life. And that's what I do. I just abandon it all for enlightenment. Because that's the only thing that I value, actually. Is freedom, peace, love, God, the divine, whatever word you want to use for it, doesn't matter. And so, yeah, it's just interesting to do things. Maybe that one last time you do it from, you could say, the lower self. When your higher self's like, you're more connected to the higher self now, but you're like, all right, lower self, if you need to do it one more time to learn that it's not the thing, go for it. I don't care, whatever. Doesn't matter. And let me make this clear. It is not lower or bad or anything to be like, if approaching the opposite sex or that is, fuck, I might go through a phase in a month where it's the thing again. I don't know. I mean, I doubt it, but I don't know. I'm not saying, I'm not making a judgment here. Like, you do, it's perfect. Amazing. My advice, though, is it doesn't matter if you're afraid. Just do it with all of yourself, you know? That's the gift. Because you're giving that other person the gift of all of your presence, right? Even if they don't like you or something, they can feel like they received something. They received all of you. That was like, if I had a do-over for yesterday, there was this part of me that was like, fuck, if I was just going to do it, I should have just at least done it with all of myself and made it fun for her. Because when you do it with all of yourself, you're more fun, you're more clever, and clever in the sense, like you say, like wittier things. It's just a more enjoyable experience. You're more heart. It's more heart. Clever is not the right word. It's more heart opening. It's more expansive. Yeah, so if you're in that part of your life where this is your conduit of growth, you know, approaching people that you think are attractive and just like, and that's like the scariest thing for you to do. And it's, oh my God, you're moving so much energy doing it. Go for it and just do it with all of yourself. Embrace it. Have fun, you know? And yeah, it's going to be scary and because you don't know what the hell they're going to do because they could do anything, right? Anything could happen, really. But that's the joy in it. That's why I loved it. That's why I love that realm for as long as I did. It's such a tantric realm of growth. And I think that's why part of me, when I see a beautiful woman, it's not even necessarily like, oh, I want to hook up with her. Of course, there's that in my animal body. It's there. To less and less, like, I mean, and that's the thing, like, even if like she were to be like, yeah, let's go hook up right now, part of me would have been like, actually, I don't want that either. I don't know. But it's the reason, what I was trying to say is the reason I think I was a little sad. It's like, not because I want to like hook up with that person. It's because, oh my God, this used to be so much fun. And now it's like not. It's just like not. And I'm like, oh well, what's fun now? You know what's fun now? You know what happens when you start growing? The mundane becomes like the most exciting thing. I know it's not an exciting update, guys, but like, I was feeling that yesterday. I was like, it would have been more exciting to just go sit on the beach and look at the water. That's where you end up when you burn through so much stuff tantrically through experience. You end up where actually the most exciting thing is not the sexy person, but it's the sexy water, it's the sexy sand, it's the rock, you know. It's just to kind of make a joke there, it's the silence. It all the tantric experiencing out of all your desires and everything you want to chase and seek, it all just leads you back to yourself. It's all just leading you back to yourself. The things you're chasing after, trying to achieve, the person you're trying to get to like you, whatever you're chasing, whatever you're seeking, do it with gumption. Do it with all of yourself. Because the more you just experience it out consciously with all of yourself, the sooner you just kind of return to yourself. And then the more you're just like, I'd just rather go sit on the ocean. Just sit next to the lake. It's not an ocean, but whatever. I'd rather just go listen to the birds. I'd rather just go create something. That's another thing too. It's like you just want to create, you just want to give. Yeah. I guess this is what happens when I retain sexual energy. You get 37-minute videos of me not saying the thing like I want to. So I keep looping back and like, can I say it better this time? Can I say it better this time? All right, that was vulnerable. I'm going to be burning all day now. That's perfect. If you like this, if you're still here, bless your heart. I know some of you are, which is beautiful. Because I could feel today's video, even though I didn't, for my ego, it wasn't like set, like, oh, like the video I wanted to make or something. I could tell it was really engaging. Lots of energy here. Joining the Patreon's the best way to support this work. And I would really appreciate, I just appreciate you all joining. It means a lot to me. Okay, much love. See you in the next video. Namaste.